Hey, welcome back to Home Video Hangout. In today's video, I'm sharing with you some movies I'm getting rid of for my movie collection. These are a mixture of movies that I'm getting rid of because I upgraded them to a higher format, or some of them I'm getting rid of because I didn't like them when I watched them, and there's even some in here that I'm getting rid of because they were damaged. So as I go through these, I'll share with you why I'm getting rid of them and what led me to get rid of them, and I'd love to hear throughout this video in the comments from you about if you didn't like some of these movies, or if you got some of these movies in a higher format, or just any of your thoughts on these movies, so we can have a discussion down there too. But let's jump right into it. Alright, I'm going to start out with the 4K Blu-rays and the Blu-rays that I'm getting rid of. So first of all, I have just a disc here of Black Widow on 4K, and this one I'm getting rid of because I actually bought this movie on 4K recently, and this was just in there as an extra disc. I don't know why when I bought this used there's an extra copy of the movie in there, but there was. So I have no need for that, and I'll be finding a way to get rid of that. Probably with most of these movies I'm getting rid of, I'm going to sell them in one way or another. And then in addition to that, I have a disc here of the movie Buried with Ryan Reynolds. I recently got another Blu-ray that has a case for this movie, so no need for this disc-only copy. Then I also have the movie here, The Devil Wears Prada. Now, this isn't my favorite movie, but my wife enjoyed it, and the reason I'm getting rid of this, though, isn't because I didn't like the movie. In this case, this is actually a bad disc. So with this one, you probably won't be able to tell too much on camera, but if you look at the disc, there's no obvious imperfection on here. There's maybe just a couple of small issues, like tiny little dings you probably can't even see on camera, but it was skipping at multiple parts or freezing in multiple parts of the movie, and it was always in the same part of the movie, so it's not my Blu-ray player, but I'll be getting rid of this one and maybe considering getting another copy of it cheap at some point in the future. Alright, then we have the movie Divergent. I got this one, or I'm getting rid of this one because I got a 4K copy of this movie, which you'll be seeing in one of my haul videos, so that's why I'm getting rid of this one. Then I have Creed 2 here. This is another one I picked up on one of my recent hauls on 4K. Cloverfield, not a bad movie, so I decided to get this one on 4K too, so that's why I'm getting rid of the Blu-ray here. World War Z with a slipcover, getting rid of this one because I found a 4K copy of this one too. This is a movie that I really enjoy that is kind of hard to find a good deal on for the 4K copy, so I'm glad I did. Bad Times at the El Royale, another movie that I decided to upgrade to the 4K format. Hacksaw Ridge with a slipcover, I've had this one in my collection for a long time, probably one of the longest movies I had in my collection because I really love this movie, but because of that, I got a 4K copy of this one too. And here is one that I'm getting rid of because I actually didn't like the movie enough to keep it. So this is The Sitter. I got this one pretty recently from a record store, and this is a slipcover copy. And I got this because I like Jonah Hill, but this movie I think was a little odd. It's kind of different from his other movies in my opinion. He has a leading role in this one, and the idea is he helps his mom out by being a babysitter for one of her friends' families, and I just thought this movie is odd because there are a few parts that are kind of funny in it, but he kind of goes back and forth in this movie in the role he plays. In, you know, a small part of it, he's kind of how we're typically used to seeing him as being kind of a carefree loser kind of guy, you know, like we see him play in a lot of different movies, a lot of his comedies. But then there's also parts of this movie where he's trying to be like caring and responsible and look out for his mom and his family, and that's why he does some of the things he does, which is not how we're used to seeing Jonah Hill in movies. We're used to seeing him being the silly, uncaring loser kind of guy in a lot of these movies who gets into trouble, and so it was just different, and I think the acting among some of the kids was not the best in this movie, and it just wasn't nearly as funny as some of his other movies, and that's why I'm deciding not to keep this one. Next we have Live Free or Die Hard. I'm getting rid of this one because I now have a box set that has multiple Die Hard movies in it, including this one, so I don't need the extra copy. Here's the original Creed. I have this one on 4K now, so I don't need that one any longer. And Downsizing, another one I got on 4K recently, and therefore no longer need this one. Alright, next up for the DVDs I'm getting rid of, we have Frozen Ground. So this is another one where I got a Blu-ray copy cheap, so I don't need this any longer. Shaft, I got a Blu-ray copy of this one. I originally got this DVD cheap at the Dollar Tree, but Blu-ray is better. Vantage Point, found this one on Blu-ray too, so don't need the DVD anymore. RV, classic family movie, one of my favorite Robin Williams movies, and one that I would highly recommend to anyone, and therefore I upgraded this to a Blu-ray as well. Get Him to the Greek, really enjoyable comedy. Much better Jonah Hill movie here than The Sitter was, and so I got this one on Blu-ray too. Daddy's Home, this is a slipcover copy, one of my favorite comedies with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, so this is one that I upgraded to 4K and got the 4K really cheap actually for only like $5. All About Steve, this is one I got on Blu-ray recently too, haven't watched it yet though. Failure to Launch, classic movie, one that I wanted to have on Blu-ray. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, another classic comedy movie that I got on Blu-ray recently. Goonies, classic kids and family adventure kind of movie. You can see I got my Goonies shirt on today actually. And so that's one that I thought was an absolute classic and I got on the Blu-ray format. I only paid a couple dollars for that one too, I think. But this one does have a 4K release as well, which I may get eventually. But for now, I'm happy with the 1080p Blu-ray I got. Bridesmaids, this is a movie me and my wife enjoy as a comedy, and so I got that one on Blu-ray too. Sisters, another comedy I haven't watched in a while, but I decided to upgrade to the Blu-ray format. Jack and Jill, I actually do enjoy most of Adam Sandler's movies to a certain extent, even though this one isn't the greatest. I decided to get that one on Blu-ray cheap, so that's why I'm getting rid of this. And Hot Pursuit, I initially saw this one in the theater and thought it was an okay comedy, so I got that one on Blu-ray too. Beautiful Creatures, another one I upgraded to Blu-ray, even though I haven't watched it yet. Easy A, great comedy movie. This is a terrible looking DVD though, so definitely if you're going to watch this movie, get the Blu-ray. As I did, it's much better. Wild Hogs, classic comedy movie, another one I'd highly recommend with a great cast. This is another one that I didn't think looked the greatest on DVD, so I wanted to get the Blu-ray. Office Space, absolute classic comedy, another one that I recently got on Blu-ray, so definitely check that one out. The Guilt Trip, another great Seth Rogen movie, so this one I really liked and therefore got on Blu-ray. Neighbors, as well as Neighbors 2, I'm getting rid of on DVD because I got these on Blu-ray cheap as well. And Upside Down, this is actually one of my favorite romance drama kind of movies of all time. It has a little bit of a sci-fi spin too. So I've had this for many years in my collection, and I finally found a Blu-ray copy that wasn't extremely overpriced. It was about $10 at one of the record stores I go to, so I upgraded that one, but I still recommend this movie on whatever format you can get it on. And The Italian Job, this is not my favorite kind of action movie of all time, but it does have some good scenes in it, and so I upgraded this one to Blu-ray as well because I found it cheap. The Other Guys, another great comedy movie, decided to upgrade that one to the Blu-ray format. Almost Famous, this is one I'm getting rid of because I didn't really like this movie that much. It wasn't the worst movie I've seen, but it was kind of slow-paced, just not my favorite, so decided I don't want to have that in my collection anymore. Alright, Under the Bed. This is one that I don't believe I've watched yet, but I got on the Blu-ray format, so that's why I'm getting rid of the DVD here. Die Another Day, 007 movie. This is one I've had for a while. It was kind of passed down to my family, but I got my Blu-ray James Bond collection not long ago, so I pulled this out of my shelf to get rid of. Same with Moonraker. It's in my Blu-ray box set, so I no longer need this. Black Hawk Down, a while back I got the 4K copy of this, which I'm really looking forward to watching, so don't need the DVD anymore. And Star Wars Attack of the Clones, I got this on 4K recently, so don't need the DVD anymore. Talladega Nights, upgraded that one to a Blu-ray copy because that's a classic comedy as well. And lastly, Open Water, I got a cheap double pack with a couple of these movies from Half Price Books on Blu-ray, so I don't need this DVD anymore. Alright, so that was a quick walkthrough of the movies I'm getting rid of in my collection right now. I went through my whole collection recently for the full walkthrough of my movie collection I shared with you guys, and in that, I was able to find some of these movies I didn't need to have in there anymore because I got them on higher formats or because some were damaged or whatever. And so whenever I don't like a movie or I get on a higher format, I always like selling the older copies to get some funds to buy more movies that I want to have in my collection. And when movies are damaged, I usually just throw them away so someone else doesn't get upset by having a damaged disc in their collection. But let me know in the comments below if you agreed with any of the movies I didn't like, or if you're looking for any of these movies. I may be doing a Whatnot auction pretty soon to sell off some of these movies, so you guys would be able to actually buy some of the movies I'm getting rid of from my collection, but I'll keep you updated on whether I decide to do that soon. But thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe button down below to help out the channel and make sure you stay updated on my latest videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.